Yeah.
I don't care so much about the
Oh,
visual.
okay.
I care about the speaker.
Okay.
Because they're on the side of like everything.
I need to see Mr. Rooney's bald head.
You're looking dapper today, Mr. Are we going to start?
I'm hoping sometime today. When you're ready,
Mr.
Sara,
Rooney.
go ahead.
Is it already playing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I want everyone to think about how much you use a computer nowadays. You use Facebook to contact friends and keep up with everybody. You use it to do online banking and to find information for class assignments, like doing a speech. But do you really know about the world's first computers? You might think about the colossal that the British made, or the ENIAC made by our US government. But the world's first computer that was actually made was over 2,000 years ago, and it was called the Antikythera mechanism. The Antikythera mechanism was made over 2,000 years ago by Archimedes. I will tell you about how it was made, who made it, I already know that, what its purpose was, and how it became, and how it was discovered. In the spring of 1901, a four-man team of stunt drivers took refuge. Let's go back. Yes. Took refuge at the small rocky island of Antikythera as a violent storm moved in. 3 days later, when the storm had passed, the sponge divers set out. One of them decided to dive, thinking he might try his luck to find some treasures. Instead, what he found was the largest treasure trove of Greek treasures ever found. All around him were bronze statues and marble figurines and beautiful glassware. But among those objects was the Antikythera mechanism. It was badly corroded, and he had no idea what it was, but still he picked it up. Later, it was transported to the National Archaeological Museum of the Amazons. Shortly after arriving, the object broke into 82 badly corroded pieces. The three largest pieces were labeled. See, there's 82 pieces. And these are the three largest pieces of the Antikythera mechanism. As you can see, they have gears, and this doesn't show very well, but like over here, there would be Greek symbols. At first, no one knew what this object was, and for 2 years, it remained mostly unnoticed. Until one day, an archaeologist noticed gears in one of the fragments. Fragment A clearly had the largest fragment, largest gear. At first, the archaeologists believed the object was a clock. But as other scientists began looking at it, they realized it was much too complex to just be a clock. That was what brought the Antikythera mechanism under the inspection of all kinds of scientists and archaeologists. They wanted to know who made it, what its purpose was, and why it ended up on that ill-fated ship in the 1900s. Many mathematicians, historians, and scientists led different investigations on this Antikythera mechanism. But the group to actually find out all the answers was led by Mike Edmonds, an astronomer. Though the team had no confidence that they would be the ones to figure out the purpose of the Antikythera mechanism, they still took on the task anyway. First, they decided to examine the other objects from the shipwreck, just to make sure it really was from Greece, and to hopefully try and date it. They used coins that were also found. By using the coins, they were able to determine the age of the shipwreck. It also proved the Antikythera mechanism to be of Greek origins. By looking through past records made by Derek Price, who was the first to really do a thorough examination of the Antikythera mechanism, they were able to count the number of teeth on the gears and to be able to look closer inside through the corroded pieces. Next, they started to examine the symbols found on the pieces. Translating them, they found the symbols for the moon, the sun, and many other planets and stars, leading them to believe that the Antikythera mechanism was meant for celestial observations. Eventually, they made X-rays in order to peer. See, this is an X-ray of the Antikythera mechanism. They used the X-rays in order to count the number of teeth on each gear and to find out how many gears it had. They believe the Antikythera mechanism had about 30 gears, but there could have been more lost at sea and still not found. Eventually, they were led to the conclusion that, based on the symbols used, they were able to determine where the Antikythera mechanism was from and found that Archimedes was the one who made it. It was believed to have been stolen from him when Julius Caesar invaded the Greek colonies in the Mediterranean. It got passed around from many hands, and eventually on its way to Rome, it boarded that ship, which was dangerously overloaded, and it sank during a storm. So now you know what you have to thank for all your Facebook and your online banking and information gathering. The Antikythera mechanism. You're done.